Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust from the Capital Region's leading experts in real estate and all related fields. From the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty, this is the talk show that will help you save and make the most when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop, John Bevilacqua.
Good morning. Brother Lou, back again, brother. What's up, my man?
Hey, how
Good
you
to
doing?
see you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Thank you. Same to you, sir.
Tis the season.
Tis the season.
We got our little stocking stuffer over here, Kimberly Salerno from Salerno
goodness.
Law NY.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Kimberly.
We're just rolling in
Good
right out of the
morning.
break room here. There's no time for any kind of thinking here. We're just jumping right onto the show.
They need to videotape that. Take a video of the switch over.
The scramble, yeah, it's always a scramble.
It
Always
is.
good to see the Herzog guys. I hope that they're going into the holiday season with some good law advice. I was listening to shows; it was good. A lot of look back stuff and technical jargon that I don't really know about, and that's why we have Kim here, because she is our technical real estate legal guru. And we got her on the show today. We got, what were you going to say?
No.
Look like you wanted to say something.
They did have a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought for sure after the show last week that you were going to go out and buy a house this week, because you were filled with so much real estate knowledge. So anyway, we got to stop the BS here because we got limited time. The show goes by quick. We only have Kim for 30 minutes here. So, and reminding everybody, it's a call-in show, area code 518, because Lou corrected me on the area code, 518-476-5900. Love you guys to call in if you got any legal questions about real estate. Kim and I are going to be digging in on why it's so important to use a real estate attorney for a real estate transaction, right, Kim?
Yes, very important.
Super important, because we're going to go, I think I have like 8 or 9 good tips on why you should use a local real estate attorney. Before that, we're going to hear a sponsor break. We're going to hear one of Kim's commercials and some of the other sponsors on the show. When we get back, we're going to jump right into the show, talk about real estate law, and with our guest, Kim Salerno, on the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
It's John Tesh. If you're thinking of selling your home, let me take the stress out of deciding which agent to hire. In the Capital Region, the agent I recommend is John Bevilacqua, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at the Property Shop. So for 2 decades, John has helped more than 2,500 families buy and sell the place they call home. That's a solid track record, one that's backed up by dozens of 5-star reviews. Hello. In fact, John is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell it at a price and deadline you agreed to, or he's going to buy it himself for cash. And he provides that guarantee in writing. The agent I trust is John Bevilacqua, and he's the agent you should trust too. His name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So write this number down. It's 518-957-SOLD. That's easy. 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. I love that one. JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com, and you'll get your home sold guaranteed.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, guys, we are back. Hey, so listen, just wanted to give you all the reasoning behind the show here, right? So the reason we get up early in the morning on a Saturday, me and Kim got up and shook off the cobwebs, is because we feel like we have a commitment to you guys who listen to the show to bring you the most up-to-date real estate market conditions, stats, tips, tricks. Pretty much any kind of strategy that we can give you to help buy or sell a home is why we do the show. It's what I've been doing for about 20 years now. Kimmy's got 20 years under her belt.
Yep.
We're not as down the road as Brother Lou at 50 years on the radio, okay? But
What are you talking about?
well, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So, and look, we're not bragging. We're just applying for the job of being a person involved in the transaction with you. Me to help you try to sell a house or buy a house, and Kim to help you navigate the legal aspects of it. So listen, again, call-in show. We'd love to hear from you guys out there. 518-476-5900. Give us a call. You know, Kim's starting to be a salty veteran on this show. I think she's going on like fifth or sixth show now.
I think so.
So it's we've talked about everything from, deals falling apart and the mysteries of the closing tables. I mean, we've had quite a bit of shows, but this week it's, I wanted to get Kim on because, time and time again, I get a contract. The buyer's like, hey, I want to use my divorce attorney to do this, or we want to use the family attorney to do this. Kim, yes, big no. Why? Like, talk to us.
Please, yes. Think about it. If you need to have a tooth pulled, you're not going to go to a brain surgeon.
A foot doctor.
Yeah, a foot
Right.
doctor. You want to go to somebody that specializes in what you need. So
Right.
if you're going to be buying or selling a house, don't use the family friend. Don't use, somebody that primarily does litigation. You want someone that specializes in real estate law. It's very nuanced. It's very specialized.
Yeah. And even the guys from Herzog, they'll tell you too, right? Look, those guys are set up for estate and Medicaid and Medicare planning, and they're not used to what you're set up for, right?
Right. I mean, vice versa. A lot of times at the end of a closing, I'll have a client say, hey, do you do wills? I used to, but you know what? Since the last time I did a will, so much time has passed, I wouldn't even attempt it because I would be doing a disservice to them. I refer it out.
Right.
So,
and area specific too, like, and this isn't an offense to attorneys in, let's say, Westchester County, but it's different in every area of New York State.
yeah, so, listen, it's the same state, but between upstate and downstate, it might as well be two different states.
Correct.
The attorneys practice real estate very different. And the contracts are different.
Right.
It's just handled differently. So, up here, we get a contract in. First thing we do is review it with a client, and then we issue any revisions or questions we have. We issue what's called an attorney approval letter.
Right.
That goes over to the other side, and that attorney then reviews it with their client. If they're fine with it, they sign it.
Right.
Versus downstate, they do not do attorney approval letters. They'll do addendums, to the contract, and then they want the actual buyer or seller to sign it. And then that just kind of drags out time.
It does. They tend to be longer winded, so to speak, for lack of a better words. But not only that, like the way they structure how they get paid on the transactions is differently as well. I mean, downstate attorneys having 10 years of doing transactions in New York City and tri-state area, they write their own contracts. I mean, I remember getting a contract from a downstate real estate attorney, and it was like 70 pages.
Well, and a lot of them,
it's like they're writing the Bible here
and
for a basic real estate transaction.
Well, and up here we charge a flat fee.
Yeah,
we charge a flat fee. So we versus downstate, they pretty much do billable hours.
Right.
So they're gonna really look to find how many letters can we do. We want to add extra billable hours. We don't do that. It's a flat fee. It just creates extra work. So, really what you should do and how I approach it is, where is the property located?
Yeah.
That it should be the default law that you follow and the standards that you follow.
Yeah.
So if I have a property downstate that I'm representing, I just call the attorney. Hey, listen, just kind of guide me along, on what your practice is, and we'll follow suit. And they should really do the same up here.
They should do the same, right? But not only that, but it also goes back to like local laws, regulation. I mean,
Sure.
you guys, you're in the thick of it. Like, you are a practicing Capital Region attorney.
Yes.
Like, what are some of the things that you catch from a local level, concerning laws and statutes and how things are done that a lot of times might get missed by somebody that's non-local.
Well, a big thing is, depending on where the property is located, if I have a buyer, that's going to determine who pays for their title search. Mm-hmm. If you're in Albany County, Saratoga County, the buyer pays for the title search, versus if you're in Schenectady County, Washington County, we have a list, but then the seller pays. And just between attorneys up here, we put right in our attorney approvals, if it's in Schenectady County, I'll just say, hey, can I have your authorization to order the title? Mm-hmm. They reply right back, yes, go ahead. That can save weeks.
Right.
Versus downstate, if they're not familiar with that, we could be going back and forth for weeks just to get a title search order.
Just to get the search order, right. Yeah, and it's that type, those types of nuances that make a huge difference, because that's how deals die, right?
Yes.
Time kills all deals. Like that's a mantra in real estate. I was taught 20 years ago when I got into this. It's time kills deals, and same goes with the length of your property being on the market. Your first best looks are in the first 2 weeks. After that, it starts to get stale bread, and people start looking at the property like, all right, what's wrong with this thing? Same thing when it goes with the transaction. So, and that causes havoc for the seller too, because now, let's say they've gotten tied up into a contract with a buyer that had an attorney that was from Rochester that couldn't get them through the process. Deal falls apart. Now we got to put the property back on the market after being off for 2 or 3 months because couldn't get it through the attorneys, right?
Well, and Johnny, you can speak to this even better than me, but it's like with our market right now, at least in our area, prices are still a lot higher, and you've got a long list of buyers. So you want to get that attorney approval tied up as soon as possible, because they're looking, hey, we got another offer coming in.
That's right.
And it's a cash offer and it's higher. Kill this, cancel it in attorney review.
Yep.
So as a buyer's attorney, you got to get that approved as soon as possible. So, and if you're dealing with a downstate attorney or an attorney that doesn't specialize in real estate, maybe they primarily do litigation, they're tied up in court for a week and can't get to attorney approval, your poor buyers are looking at possibly getting it canceled.
Yep. And then that just that creates havoc for all the players involved. The real estate agent, even trickles down to the home inspector, the title search, the lender, right? Because a lot of times, we've had things getting dragged out with the wrong attorney in place where we had to order title. Mm-hmm. We had to order a second appraisal after the first appraisal expired. Mm-hmm. Right now, you're talking about when appraisals aren't cheap. You're looking at between $350 to $600 for an appraisal. Now you're $1,200 into an appraisal. You got extra costs. It just, that time frame lagging just continues to rack up other costs involved that, forget about the deal falling apart. It's just going to cost you more money.
And it's not just the cost. I mean, the bottom line is if you're not dealing with an attorney, 2 real estate attorneys together, they can get through this very quickly.
Right.
And that time frame then affects everything else, because these contracts are all pushed forward by the contingency dates that are in there. They're date driven.
Yeah.
And if this starts to, fall behind, it's going to affect everything.
Yeah. Tell us about, you guys have a particular system for dates and keeping the show on the road, so to speak, with how it works with the contract.
Sure.
Talk to us.
Yeah. So we have, we're set up for real estate. We've got, when a file comes in, I get the contract right off the bat, handle attorney approval, and then we open it up. And then what that means is we've got mortgage contingency date, inspection contingency date, possibly other contingencies. We enter those into our calendar, and we follow up on those contingencies for our client. That's very important. That's our job, because those contingencies protect the buyer's deposit.
Right.
So they're in there for a reason, and we have a system in place to follow up on those dates.
Yeah.
Other attorneys' offices that don't specialize in real estate may not have that set up, and they're putting their buyer's deposit in jeopardy.
Right. And we back up those dates as the real estate agent to make sure that everything stays on track. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's not our job, but
it's our job.
It's the attorneys really that, if I'm having to keep an attorney in check with their dates, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's going to help. That's going to really, create distractions on my end from what I need to be focused on and keeping the deal, moving forward and closing. But, yeah, so, I can't stress the importance of this. I know we're running up on the halfway break here, so when we come back, I've got, oh my gosh, at least 3 more good solid talking points here that I want to go over with Kim to to really let our listeners understand how important it is to use a local real estate attorney. They have to be organically grown, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so to speak, yes.
They have to be gluten-free, organically grown, and vegan-friendly with your attorney here in the Capital Region. But
keto and carb-free.
That's right. So after the break, we're going to cover that and look forward to hearing back from you guys after the break.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guarantee radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecipher, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the Capital Region. You can also expect a home warranty at no cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, welcome back, guys. John Bevilacqua, Kim Salerno.
Hello.
Brother Lou in the house.
Hello.
Talking about using local real estate attorneys for your real estate transaction, how important that is. Can't remind you guys enough. It's a call-in show, 518-476-5900. You want to get your real estate questions answered. Now's the time. We got Kim here for another 15 minutes, probably barely, because this show goes by so quick. Hey, I did want to make a quick plug for our VIP home under service because I want to congratulate somebody. Charmine over in East Greenbush. I know she's a big fan of the show, and her patience paid off. We have been looking for her for a while now. She had a very particular budget, needed to be in East Greenbush School District. I found her the house, and she's so happy. And I think, Kim, you're handling the contract on that, correct?
I am.
Is Charmine not a sweetheart?
She's
a
sweetie.
You know, the reason we were able to do this with her is because we took the time to sit down. We put her into the VIP home hunter service. We figured out what her home buying criteria was. We showed her off-market properties, unlisted homes. It just so happens the house that we did find her was actually listed, but we got on top of it so quickly that we were able to beat out all the other buyers. We were I think we had the first showing on the property. The sign wasn't even up on the front lawn. And we wrapped it up before the other agent. We negotiated that, through our offer, you had to cancel the open house, right? So we fought off all the buyers in order for Charmine to avoid getting into a multiple offer situation. We probably saved her like 15, 20 grand.
Yeah, you guys did an amazing job.
I would think we saved her at least 15, 20 grand to keep her out of a multiple bid situation, but it works. So if you guys are interested and you're looking for a home and you even have a house to sell, the Guaranteed Sale program works great for that because we will step up and guarantee the sale of your home if you move up into any of our properties that we have listed or even any other realtor properties. We'll back up that claim. So call us in the office, 957-SOLD. That's 957-7653, and ask to get signed up with our VIP home hunter service and get started today, right? Let's hit the new. Go ahead.
Do you guys have like a limited number of properties to show somebody? Like say, okay, within the confines of what they want. Like we can only do 3, only 5, or however many they need.
We can show them as many as available, and then our the homeowner service allows us to match their home buying criteria to properties that are unlisted, off the market. We go right into neighborhoods, and we have a mailing system where we send out letters through our algorithm. We figure out who prospective home sellers are, and we mail directly to them with a letter from our buyer that says, "Hey, listen, we've got somebody looking in your area. Have you considered selling?" And it works, and we get lots of feedback and lots of interest from home sellers that say, "Hey, I don't particularly want to list my home, but I would definitely accept an offer on it if the right one came about." That's
Okay.
how it works well. I mean, there's more to it than that. I'm just kind of giving you a thumbnail sketch. And, of course, I mean, there's everything that's on the MLS, but there's not much on the MLS right now because we're in such a low inventory market. So we open up all the parameters to get our buyers the most amount of choice and access that we can get them. So, but this show's not about me. This show's about Kim. This show's about using a local real estate attorney, because once we find you the house, if you're not working with the right attorney, all heck is going to break loose.
Sorry, Kim.
That's okay.
Oh, no.
Lou, we want the questions. That's great.
Yeah.
So, and again, I think we talked about some of the pitfalls of using out-of-state, non-local attorneys, but for me, it's all about relationships, right, Kim? Like,
yeah, 100%.
How important is that to have relationships in a local market?
It's super important. I mean, over the years, I've really developed a lot of real close relationships with my colleagues. Mm-hmm. We'll go out to dinner. I mean, it just strengthens our relationships. I know all the paralegals in their offices. I know, local lenders. I mean, it makes a big difference. When I get a contract, on the last page of the contract, it lists who the two attorneys are. Yeah. That's what I look at first.
Right. I do the same thing with the agent, right? Like, who's on the other side of the deal with the agent?
And you already know how the transaction's going to go.
Yes.
If it's an attorney, I know, because I know all the local real estate attorneys. I take a nice deep sigh. Okay, good. And if I don't recognize the name, I'm like, oh, here we go. Yep. Jump on the roller coaster.
Right. But give us an example of, a story or example of how relationships matter and
yeah, here's an example of one I closed this past week. I represented a seller, all right, and not to get into title issues, but to simplify it. Basically, she owned the home.
Yeah.
Title search was done. The prior owner that sold to her had an open mortgage and was paid off at the closing, but the bank never filed what's called a satisfaction.
Oh boy!
So if there
been
is
in that situation before,
yeah, and it's a very common title situation. We see this a lot.
How is the personality of the seller of your client?
So my client was probably, she was an elderly woman. I mean, I don't know if hey, we're Italian.
Hey,
so
we're all Italian in this
Italian, I get it, so it's like,
we have fiery personalities, to say the least.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was like, my client was my grandmother. So, yeah, and she, in the title company, because it was going to take time.
So she was stubborn is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So, the title company, which in order to allow us to close, because we were up against the buyer, was having her rate was expiring, so they needed to close. The title company said, well, we'll hold $10,000 in escrow. So in other words, that's
$10,000 for a title? That's a lot of money.
Well, it's based on the amount of that mortgage that's open.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. So that was going to be $10,000 held back from my client's money. She was not having it. So
doesn't matter if you're Italian, Irish, or German. You're not going to be happy with losing $10,000 over this.
That's right. So I work with this office all the time. Picked up the phone, listen, explain the situation. Can you bring it down to like $2,000? Yes, no problem.
See,
client was happy with that, and we closed.
Right, there you go. And that's it. I mean, that's what it takes. It's just being able to pick up the phone, know the person on the line, and make the deal work.
Exactly.
Right. So
exactly, we do it all the time.
Yeah, and that's, again, I can't stress enough the relationship of being able to make moves like that, but also too having familiarity with the title processes. I mean, we just talked about title. Now you have in-house title services,
my own title
right?
company.
So KBS Abstract is a subsidiary of Salerno Law.
Yes.
Tell us how you can make things happen quicker because of the title company.
Well, a handful of attorneys will not order a title search until they see a mortgage commitment. They want to make sure financing is in place before they spend that money on the title search.
Worst move possible.
Yeah. I mean, years ago, I stopped doing that. Right when we get that contract and I do attorney approval, we order the title search.
Now that's a gamble, though. That's a gamble that you take with...
It's a gamble.
I mean, that's a cost.
I don't charge the client. If it gets canceled, I will not charge the client. It does happen, but I'd rather eat that cost and make sure things close on time.
Yeah, and that's big. And you know what? But it also keeps you involved in the transaction because, you have some skin in the game, so to speak, to make sure, not that that's going to influence a situation where your client's not protected, it's not a good situation with her. I mean, you'll eat the title anyway if it's a bad situation.
Right, but we may push that a little harder to keep if things inspection issues come up.
Yeah.
We're going to even negotiate even a little bit harder to make sure that keeps moving forward to closing.
Exactly. So that's a huge one. Plus, your office is Brother Lou, I don't know if you know this. Kim just took an old Stewart shop up in Ballston Lake,
okay,
and she renovated the whole property. It's got a gorgeous office there, and I'm just bragging because it's really nice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and being local, you can go and visit her office. But
anytime
inside the office, the players that are there. There's Sheila, there's Jordana. Just made a couple new hires. Tell us how how you guys are set up. I mean, you guys are a closing machine. Oh, hold on, we got to take a quick break. Before we do that, we're going to talk about Kim's process. Quick sponsor break. Be back in like a minute 90.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecipher, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the capital region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
W263CG Albany, W245DA South Glens Falls.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we are at the last segment of the show here. I wanted Kim to we're talking about this. If you haven't been tuned in, we're talking about using a local real estate attorney, and in particular, Kim Salerno, and how important it is to use local-based, relationship-based attorneys that focus in real estate. But Kim, tell us a little bit about the process in your office before we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, so I mean, all we do is real estate.
Right.
We've got a brand new office. We're right off exit 11 up in Ballston Lake. And just to let you know, because the market is still very busy.
Yeah.
We just hired a part-time receptionist, so she will greet you when you come in.
Beautiful.
And starting January 3rd, I have another full-time closing coordinator.
Wow. Yeah, you guys are killing it. That's great. And how can they get a hold of you, Kim?
So they can call 518-309-3404, or you can email me at kim@SalernoLawNY.com. Or if you're up in the area, feel free to stop in. I'll show you the office.
Great. Get your Keurig coffee
16 Round
there.
Lake Road.
That's right. So, listen, if you guys are looking to either trade up or trade down on a house, wanting to get a cash offer on your home, or, hey, you're just looking for the right investment property, reach out to us at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, 957-SOLD. That's 957-7653. Ask about our VIP homeowner service or about our investor newsletter, which is called In-House. But we want to thank Kim for being on the show. Another show in the books.
Thanks for having me, and happy holidays to everybody.
Always excited to have you on here. Next week, you're not going to want to miss the show. We have Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding. Got a lot of turmoil in the interest rate market going on right now. A lot of good news, a lot of positive stuff coming out about rates. Finally getting some relief on that. And Ben's going to be here. If I don't talk to anybody, have a great Christmas. We'll be back on. Happy holidays, and thanks for tuning in. Johnny B signing out.
The Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show is presented by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop. Join broker and founder John Bevilacqua every Saturday morning at 8:30 to hear about the latest real estate trends here in the capital region, where to find the best mortgage rates, home insurance, home warranties, and more. To speak to John about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment. 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. That's JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com.